Our agent, Marty Baum, said, look, if you guys want to just go make a film and be totally left alone, there are 2 new guys in town.
Menachem Golan and Yoram Globus were the heavyweights. They were the George Foremans and the Muhammad Alis of the indie market.
Yoram Globus was the businessman behind the movie making.
Where is my money? You promise and promise and promise and you're not paying.
Menachem Golan was the movie maker.
He redubbed me with an American voice, but not a voice similar to mine.
A true ninja doesn't kill. He eliminates, and only for defensive purposes.
He's so not ninja.
I don't know. I've never seen a ninja.
Ninja 3: The Domination managed to take The Exorcist, a ninja movie, and combine it with Flashdance.
Nuts, just crazy nuts.
Sometimes we make better films, sometimes we don't make such good films, but we do make films.
One of my first questions was, how much money do you think you'll be spending on it? And they said, oh, probably $10 million. I think they ended up spending about $3.75 on it.
The name of the game is to do, not just to blah, 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 blah. Talk about it.
This year, the big hit for Golan and Globus is Breaking'.
It really did something the United Nations was unable to do so far. Bring nations together under one groove.
Really? I mean, that's insane.
The audience wasn't prepared for the craziness, the looniness.
I felt a little stupid doing it. Clyde the orangutan came to the office. Menachem's deciding whether to sign the orangutan to put him under contract.
It was crazy, talking to a monkey.
This would be an epic of cinema.
Blockbuster of the century.
Oh, God, we are in so much trouble.
And that's why everybody...
They put a stamp on pop culture. It's hard to say words canon films without laughing.
At the end of the movie, I had tears in my eyes.
Menachem, he says, aha, I got you. I was crying because I saw my career going down the toilet and I didn't know what I was going to do next.
I hold them in huge affection, even though they ruined our movie.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Combat Radio's favorite Oscar-nominated legend, Harrison Ellenshaw, is with us. What's not to love about this guy? Well, his ex-wife will tell you a lot of things, but I will tell you the guy is loaded, and I mean loaded, with exquisite, high-caliber Hollywood stories.
How dare you?
Look, it's true for all of us, man. It's like, I think my ex-wife has any better things to say about me. Anyway, but let's talk some shit. We talked Disney Plus.
Let me interrupt.
Yeah.
We all have our starter wife. Or spouse.
The practice
like this is okay. You think you know what's going on? No. So pay attention, because you're going to screw up so many times so that hopefully your second wife will benefit from your humility.
I think it was a bad sign when I opened up one Christmas a probation officer's handbook on all the appointments and notes where you fuck. Never mind. But listen, look, we talked Disney Plus and how Harrison's entire resume from Black Hole to the Apple Dumpling Gang is available. But one thing we haven't talked about is you're part of one of my all-time favorite documentaries on the Cannon Group, the Chuck Norris Machine. And you are great in that documentary about how they basically, I mean, you almost, if you look at like Hollywood production lore, you have to look at the Cannon Group and go, that's who I'd make a movie on. If you told me pick a production outfit and make a movie like Ed Wood, make a movie on a production outfit, that's the one that no one would probably believe is real.
Well, reality beats invention all the time, or creation. The Israeli cousins, as we call them other things as well, but it doesn't matter, because as long as you get paid,
yes.
Which, by the way, I didn't get paid. And then when I finally said, where's my money? They finally sent me a check, and it bounced.
I was going to say, the movie Cannonball Run was inspired by the bank dash on Fridays when Cannon cut their team's checks. Everyone basically lawlessly, like the road warrior, drove to their bank. And only the first 2 or 3 were going to be good. After that, you were turning around and you were going right back into the CEO's office and saying, brother, there's too much rubber on this. I need a real check or I need cash. But you know what, though? You're really good in the documentary because you have a lot of fun with it. Like, you can tell it's one of those moments where you're like, this is actually the way Hollywood works sometimes. It's kind of a quagmire of shit that you have to navigate.
Yeah.
But, you know, I love that when they talked about Chuck Norris, I think, is in the documentary too. And he said a story about how Missing in Action 1 was actually Missing in Action 2, but they, for some reason, decided to release the second one first based on events in the news or something. I forget the exact story, but it was hilarious to hear him talk about it. Like he went to the movie expecting to see Missing in Action, and it was Missing in Action 2 under the Missing in Action title. But whatever. That was where you did Superman, though, wasn't it, with Reeve?
Oh, you know my real history of working on lousy films.
Oh, come on, hold up. That's not what this is about. I have a lot of respect for what you've done.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Chris Reeve, class act. He was always there. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. I don't know what that meant. They kept cutting the budget and so he and the director, Sidney J. Furie, said, no problem. We don't need to have trailers, dressing rooms where we can go and hide. We'll sit out by the set.
Yeah.
When you need me, I'll be there. It won't take 40 minutes for me to come out of my dressing room.
I just told that story to another WB executive I used to work with. We were talking about certain stars that stepped up in unique ways. And I quoted that story or paraphrased that story about Reeve basically giving up the trailer on Quest for Peace and just being costume ready all day long, hanging out, waiting for his number to be called. And that is really actually quite special.
Yeah. Everybody can say bad things about a number of actors, but again, I had the privilege of working on a film called Dave.
Yeah.
With an amazing actor who had lunch with the crew.
Is that Klein?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about him. How was Sigourney on that? Because she plays his wife.
She was aloof. Let's put it that way.
Well, she's probably been barraged by stupid shit her whole career too. Going back to Reeve for a moment though, Reeve was obviously a champ for giving up his trailer and standing around in costume. But was he pissed when Gene Hackman showed up with a double wide? Did that kind of rub him the wrong way? Going, look, I'm saving money on my trailer, but Hackman's got.
No, I think that's a myth. Maybe. Hey, it's Gene Hackman.
Was Hackman easy to work with?
He was a pro.
Yeah.
He was like, tell me what time, show up.
Nice.
Tell me where to stand. And well, he was flawless.
What about that guy you hired out of Chippendales to be the villain? How was he? First movie, right? I mean, I'm not being.
Wait. I didn't go to Chippendales.
Look, dude, it's cool, Harrison. Look, I'm nobody's judge, right?
Well, I've never been to Chippendales, and I don't know what you're referring to, because look,
he was
when I was younger.
Maybe not by you, but he was hired out of Chippendales. That's part of the Superman public record, my friend, which is fine. Look, that's where you got your bad guy. Look, you were on a budget. You needed an Electro Man or whatever his name was on the cheap, and you needed him to be sort of screen savvy.
Excuse me, Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man, right.
Yes. And what sound does he make? According to Sidney J. Furie, it's like sizzling bacon.
And that, my friends, is when Harrison knew he was on the set of a classic. Ladies and gentlemen, Superman for the Quest for Peace.
Nobody gets up in the morning and thinks, I got to go to work and work on a piece of crap. You get up in the morning and you keep the faith. You go, put everything out of your mind and go do the best job you can.
My favorite production stories in my history of feature development comes from working on Arnold Schwarzenegger's second worst movie, and it would be the first worst if it wasn't for a movie called Conan the Destroyer, thank God. So Collateral Damage. And all my favorite stories come from a god-awful Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. But I'll tell you what, man, I could have been working at a Popeyes. I could have been working at a Burger King. I mean, you're talking to a guy with limited talent. The fact that I even had a chance to actually work at Warner Brothers and on a Schwarzenegger movie, yes, I wanted it to be better, but I was just glad to have the opportunity. So I get what you're saying. And none of these things about hiring a guy out of Chippendales are meant to be disparaging against the movie or the players. Who would not jump at that opportunity? You know, you could actually tell the guy, this is going to be the shittiest movie you've ever done. It's the shittiest movie anyone's ever seen. He'll still say, I'll be there on Monday. Look, it's a privilege. It's a privilege. I would have done
it. Time. Oh, having had breakfast.
I'm there. Look, it's I always laugh. You know, I tell people all the time, like, the day you made it is the day someone actually pays you to do it. Then from there, you just strive for greatness from there. But that's when you've succeeded, is when someone said, you know, here's a paycheck for doing it. Or in the case of the Cannon Group, here's what looks like a paycheck. Get to the bank and we'll see what its value actually is. But I loved you in that documentary. I thought it was great. I saw that and I just laughed out loud. And it's a fun documentary. It's hard to believe that company existed the way that it did.
They were known as Lucifer and the Men with Painted Faces when they burned New Orleans to the ground. And when they sacked Panama, I knew that my road to redemption would be paved with tombstones. And by the time they brought the apocalypse to West Africa and the Indian Ocean, I would come to know two words with biblical significance. No quarter. No quarter. Kill All Masters. Rated R. Coming soon. Available on all platforms. Visit noquarterkillallmasters.com.